Hey everybody, this is David Skrika. So sorry for the no stock chart of the days for the last few days. I've been working on a few things. I think I've mentioned I'm associated with a new venture. I'm writing it's a website, great website. You should check it out called dollarcollapse.com. A lot of good free stuff on there. Plus writing their precious metals newsletter. And they do a lot in crypto as well. So Mark Jefkovich, the owner, he's kind of the crypto guy and I'm the precious metals guy. So, anyhow, check that out. A lot of the similar companies that I talk about in the paid version of Stock Chart of the Day, but it's more if you're just someone who's just more into just the precious metal side of things. It's an interesting venture. I think we're calling it the Gold Stock Protege. It should be really interesting. It should be a lot of fun. I'm kind of to the point where like other than doing these videos for my website, I'm going to start a Substack on top of my Patreon. I'm not really interested in doing, a paid newsletter, monthly report thing anymore. I got burnt out doing that. I don't have fun doing it. I think you have to, obviously, it is work. You can't, not everything can be, in life can be like sitting around drinking, watching football all day, which would be like, that's like my dream day. I love, people, I love that. But not every day of your life is going to be like that. But I do want to do it where I enjoy it more. And I enjoy doing these videos and talking about things more than I do whatever. So did writing a newsletter. And if you want to see written reports, I also write for Financial Intelligence Report, which is I think it's like $10 a month or something. It's $120 a year. So anyhow, uh, uh so what we're going to talk about today is, when I was a kid, they used to have these commercials, the cereal Cocoa Puffs, and they used to call it Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So today what we're going to look at is Cuckoo for Cocoa, because cocoa, which is of course the main ingredient in chocolate, has gone absolutely crazy. Cocoa is a very stable commodity. I'm going to go back 20 years here, and you're going to see over the last 20 years, well, this chart actually goes back 15 years, but cocoa basically traded between about, $3.50, so 3,500 on this chart, and $2 or 2,000 forever. And this even went back 40 years, right? And then we can see we broke that, and you can see what happens when you break a 30 or 40-year resistance level. It has gone absolutely. This isn't Nvidia. This isn't a chip stock. This isn't a tech stock. This isn't a crypto coin. This is cocoa. And look, it's gone absolutely crazy to almost $10. Any futures trader that has been in this has probably made a fortune. I sure no one has stayed in this because futures are so leveraged. A futures trader probably would have been out here, that $4 or $5 range, and I've done that good enough. So gone absolutely crazy. It takes a while for this to filter down through the chain, the food chain, but because it is, let's say, early April or March 31st, we're getting into early April. Basically, it's Easter. Happy Easter to everyone, by the way. It is Easter right now. Probably by the time the next big, chocolate holiday comes along, which is, obviously Halloween, your chocolate prices are going to be much, much higher because now current cocoa price is probably what's going to be in that chocolate that comes out during Halloween. So absolutely insane, the way that some of these things can change. And then the next one that's happened is, you better stock up on your coffee because coffee, you can see in the last few years, has had a big move as well here, and gone from 90 cents to $1.90, so over more than double. But cocoa is really the big one right now, and it's just crazy how these commodities can trade. Sugar's done very well the last few years, but just look at this huge spike that happened to sugar way back in 2011. So we can see these things. But here's the thing about commodities: when they have these spike trades, you can see sugar what it did, going from 6 cents to nearly 20 cents. In 2005, 2006. Look how it crashed, back to 8 cents. And then this move here was followed by a move from 35 cents back to 10 cents. So one thing I do know about commodities, and if we go look at stuff like wheat, look at wheat. Wheat had that huge spike during the Russian invasion. So it went from $4 a bushel to nearly $13 a bushel, and now it's back at $5.50. And you can see what happened here back in 2006, 2007 too, where it went from, again, $13 back to $4.50. One thing I know about these commodities, when they usually have these huge spike trades, and of course, the biggest example of that would have been silver in 1980, they usually crash back. So this cocoa thing is probably not going to last. Now, maybe that 350, that 3,500 will now become, the resistance, or sorry, the support rather than the resistance. But I would definitely expect that cocoa will, you know, will go down 50 to 60 to maybe even 70% in the coming years after this big spike. So then the thing I'm going to look at is one of our sponsor companies, IncaOne, reported February sales of 5 million. This was a near record report in sales from the mineral processing factories. You can see the year over year change was 116%. They haven't delivered some of it, but that's sometimes the delivery gets kicked back to the next month, especially in a month like February, which of course, even when it's 29 days, it's still the shortest month of the year. You can see the milling tons, the gold produced. So if they can finally secure this loan they've been looking to secure and get into full production, I think that this stock could really move. It continues to kind of meander there in the 11, 12 cent range. Yeah, I bought the financing at 10 cents. Like I said, so I own it. They are a sponsor. I bought it in the market. I think my average price in the market, because I did buy it higher like a year ago, is around 17, 18 cents. I kind of have the position I want in the market. So I don't know if it gets, maybe I could put some bids in around 10 if it were to get back to there, because I would like the stock around there, but I kind of have my position. But if you haven't bought it, you can see gold produce up 41%, total sales up 161%, et cetera, et cetera. So that continues strong. Of course, they're still losing money, which is part of the reason. But again, notice too that they're part of the reason they have problems, in terms of like the stock price going up because they need to make money. Where Dynacore, the other company has a similar plan to them, makes money, right? So anyhow, we'll go look at here. You can see that the gold price was up 18, to over 2,000 from 1,800. Well, of course, now the gold price is over 2,200. So you're talking about another 10% increase from there. The problem is, of course, they have to buy the raw ore to process it. So the higher gold price doesn't increase margins a great deal because they're also going to be paying higher prices for the raw ore. But anyhow, it's still near record sales, monthly sales for IncaOne. And again, if they could finally secure this loan, I just think that, again, like Dynacore in 2010, Dynacore went from like 10, 15 cents to almost $2 in basically a 1 year period. And it was because they had a combination of gold prices were breaking out and they got into full production. So that's, if IncaOne can do the same thing, I think their share price could do something similar. And like I said, I own it. So that's it for stock chart of the day today. I hope you do this. I guess that I am doing this on an Easter Sunday. Talking about cocoa is only appropriate. And it's one of the craziest charts I've ever seen of a commodity, especially an agricultural commodity. Everybody take care. I hope you have a great Easter. And we'll have on Easter Monday, we'll have a chart out as well.